grab your popcorn, kick back and relax, because it's time for some more Karnage. In today's video, I've actually got a pretty interesting combination to show you guys. It's going to be 1 boat of Scorchers, 7 boats of Warriors, and it's unlike Heavies and Warriors, where you use the boat of Heavies to soak up the damage from all the splash buildings and things like that. That'd be like mortars and rockets, because those actually do a considerable amount of work to Warriors. This combination is actually used a little bit differently. You use the Scorcher, flank it to the back to where the shield generator is, and then you flare or you don't have to flare the shield generator, but it's ideal because it keeps the Scorcher from wandering. So that's the idea here. It's very good for shield generator bases because most people are defending their shield from Warriors from attacking it, not a Scorcher. So the ideal statue layout here is about 90% GBE, 70% troop damage, and like just a troop health like 32 or something like that. So because I only have 59% GBE unboosted, I had to boost mine, unfortunately, to be able to do this attack. For a full offense player, you'll have 90% anyway, so it's not really that big of a deal. Most people will have about 100 thereabouts, so that's fine. I did have to boost my my troop damage as well. 50% you can probably get away with about 50%, maybe even mid 40s. But I find 70s just makes things so much easier. So anyway, now that we have that information, let's look at the attack. You can see I was mucking around with, it was all basically GBE attacks, trying to find the most efficient route. I didn't really use troops on any of them. But anyway, once I found the optimal GBE route, so I'll show you guys the base first. So you can see that the Shock Blaster has range on the shield generator. That was really unfortunate because it means that's almost the exact range of a Scorcher if I was right above it. From the side, that Shock Blaster is going to decimate me. And the one-shot buildings, out of range. So here's what we got to do. You can see that he's placed boom mines along the side because he's probably trying to defend from such a combination. He's obviously faced it before, so he's made little tweaks to his base to try to make it a little easier. But so now we know, if you see the boom mines on the right side, there's just too many to face. Our Scorcher's going to take so much damage. The Shock Blaster, the Shock Launcher is going to be taking us out a fair bit. I feel like if those 2 boom mines or 3 boom mines weren't there, this would be great because I could farm so much here, so much of these like economy buildings, and the only thing facing me would have been this rocket. On the left side, I've got so much other stuff I can take out. Like up the top here, where his 2 ice statues are, I can take out 3 buildings without being in range of anything. But what I found is, because this Shock Launcher has so much range, I'd need to smoke that Scorcher right up there, which isn't ideal. So, on most bases, you're not going to be taking out the Shock Launcher. You wouldn't do that. You'd be taking advantage of the fact that it doesn't have a great deal of range on you. But this was, as I said, a much tougher base for this combination. So I am going to be smoking my Scorcher down. You really want to be minimizing it to about 2 smokes, like I have. You can use 3, but 3's pushing it. 3's really pushing it. So you can see in this attack, I'm going to be timing my flares really well here. I'm going to be timing it so I can actually use the burn from my Scorcher to take out those economy buildings, so I don't have to be there any longer than what I really have to be. Now that's not really necessary per se, but it's something that I try to do just so I can be more efficient with my time. So I'm taking out these 2 economy. It should naturally go to this last one. Yep. Now I'm going to be flaring that, and I was a little unsure if I'd get the kill here, but I did. So I flared right above because as I told you guys before, the shock launcher does have range, but I need to time this flare because if it goes too close, that shock blaster will start shooting me. So you can see I'm out of range of most stuff here. I'm being attacked by mortars and rockets, but for the most part, my Scorcher can take this pretty easily. So now that we know that that shield generator is going to go down relatively unscathed, you can see I had a lot more time here, so I could have done with a lot less troop damage. I probably didn't have to boost it. But now that we see that shield's gone down, I had 79 gunboat energy at this point. So I was just looking for an optimal path to the HQ without really going through too many mines, and I seen that this sniper tower that I'm going to here with that shock mine was probably the best way to get up there. The issue was, and here's where I noticed it, I placed my smokes really well, and now I'm like, oh crap, there's 3 mines behind the HQ. This is bad. This is really bad, because I had like, I think like 25 gunboat energy at this point. Like, it wasn't much. Lucky I GBE'd the shock launcher, so I didn't need to do too much with that. So I had to take out the shock that shock launcher. Too much splash damage on the left, so I shocked that. And I felt like this is my best shot to get it done. So those mortars at the end taking out a few of my riflemen. And I got the job done. I got the kill. That's the main thing. He had 4 ice statues, I think. Yeah, he had 4 ice statues. All of them unboosted. But I think this is like a typical layout that you're going to see with warriors. You know, the shields. Normally the shield is even further back than that sometimes, and you can get away with even a lot more. But that's a very new combination going around Boom Beach right now. And I hope I really showcase that off a lot. It's actually very effective higher up, because the higher up you go in VP, you start seeing like laser beams being used more. And I guess this is really like the 12,000 VP range. I know not a lot of people are up there, but like the bases up there, you start seeing people using laser beams and shield generators. And then you don't even have to worry about shock blasters. So in these rare instances where you can't use your warriors to take out the shield generator by overlapping your smokes and timing it for when your warriors actually make the hit and keeping them safe, this is a really great way to take out the shield in those situations where you can't do that. So I thought I'd bring you guys this video, showcase that a little bit. I hope you guys have enjoyed it, and I'll see you guys in the next one.